Hello everybody, this is Espeonic, and this is going to be my very first video for YouTube. I have my brother here. Introduce yourself.
Hey, I'm YoshiPrower04. I'm truly a master at naming things.
Yeah. So anyway, this is going to be our discussion about E3 2013. Now, just so you know, we're pretty much mostly going to be talking about Nintendo games, so...
The only thing we have that's not Nintendo is a PS3 and a PSP.
Yeah. Although we are going to talk about
Xbox.
The Xbox One or Xbox. And to just start off with the Xbox One, the name. People thought that the Wii U and the Wii were stupid names. Xbox One. When I heard about that, I kept thinking, why are they talking about the very first Xbox system? Like, that's like almost 2 generations ago. Like, what? And, like, oh, that's a new system.
It's supposed to be all in one.
Yeah. But, anyway, we never saw the Microsoft conference, but based on what we've heard from, like, a couple of other discussions about E3, it was bad. Like, before E3, there are apparently, like, big controversies over the Xbox One already. Like, the fact that, like, the console always has to be online for you to play your games, and you can't play used games on them. Like, like, really stupid stuff like that is...
My favorite is Killer Instinct.
Oh yeah. We'll talk about Killer Instinct just because of the stupidity that's surrounding that. So, basically, apparently, what they said is, like, the game is free, quote unquote, and they have the one character for the game, but you have to buy the other characters.
That's stupid. Let's just say plain and simple. That's like going out, playing some various mascot video game series spinoff, like Mario Tennis or Mario Strikers or even Sonic Riders, if you like that.
Yeah, better examples, like, imagine if like Nintendo came out with Smash Brothers for the Wii U and for the 3DS and said, like, hey, the game's going to be free, and then we're just going to have Mario in it, and you have to buy all the other characters.
Well, I shouldn't say all the stages, because I'm not sure if there's ever stages of Killer Instinct. Never played it. I have...
But yeah, it's just like... We would rather just buy the entire game.
That's really the case. Why? Who thinks that's a good idea? Why would you have why would you put a game whose the core mechanic is choosing various characters and let them beat the crap out of each other? Your first instinct is,
let's just start them off with one. And, like, the price of it is also pretty controversial too. $499 US.
$499 US. $499 US.
And apparently, like, in euros, that's like over 650.
Math, what's that?
Like, the European gamers, like, they're really screwed. And I'm pretty sure that the UK still uses, like, pounds, and, like, that's different for euros. I don't know how much that is. Maybe it's even more than that. I don't know. I haven't looked up the conversion rate for that. So, yeah, like... I don't know who's... Yeah, that's the joke. X-Bone. Anyone who ends up buying it... I don't know anyone who's actually thinking about buying an X-Bone.
Congratulations, Microsoft. You managed to make the Atari and Virtual Boy... Atari 500 and...
5200?
5200 and Virtual Boy look better by comparison. I didn't think you could ever make a system in this day and era that's stupid.
Yeah, because like, there's like, I remember seeing someone comment like, So the Xbox One is the new Atari 5200, except that the 5200 is not a surveillance system.
Yeah.
So, if you're like a Microsoft fan, I honestly feel very, very sorry for you.
Yeah.
I mean, we never really bothered with the system. We didn't hate it. It was just there for us.
But we can tell you now, it's gonna be just there and never ever be in our house. Ever.
No. So, do you have anything else to say about Microsoft?
Ba 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 ba.
Or the other joke where I saw someone comment like, someone called an ambulance to Xbox instead. Wii U, Wii U, Wii U.
Got the PS4 beat the living shit out of it.
Yeah, the one thing we can say about the Sony conference is that like they pretty much won over everybody because like I guess the growing concern about like if Microsoft's doing this for the Xbox One, what are they going to do what is Sony going to do with the PlayStation 4 and like?
And Sony pretty much more or less the elephant in the room that everyone noticed, Microsoft ignored. Sony saw it, pointed it out.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Microsoft did not trust that at all.
They just rather show all the games. They show all the games, but when your console is crap, I'm not going to go near it. When you decide to put stupid stipulations, I'm just going to go, yeah, you're not worth my time. Later.
Yeah. But other than technically it's not a Sony exclusive game, but it's also on the Xbox One for some reason. We'll get to that game, but I guess from this point on we're just going to be going into the Nintendo games since we are Nintendo fans.
Here we go.
Okay, I'm going to start off with a game that YoshiPrower, he's more of a fan of than I am, the Mario Kart series, new Mario Kart 8. What do you think?
It's a game. It comes out next year. Bikes are back, and I'm mixed on that because Mario Kart Wii kind of made you feel like if you weren't on a bike, you're just saying, please curb stomp me, I don't want to win.
Yeah, at a certain point, I just abandoned the bikes. I mean, like, well, what did you think of...
What do you mean you abandoned the cars?
Oh, yeah, I abandoned carts.
Yeah,
like,
the bikes are broken.
Yeah, because, like, in 50cc, you have to use the cart, 100cc, you have to use a bike, and 150 or above, you can just choose whatever you want, and I chose the bike because I became pretty good with controlling, like, the high-speed, high-drift bikes for a while, although I haven't played it in a while, so I might be kind of rusty with that. But, like, bikes had the superior advantage of doing the wheelie. The idea was, I think you said, like...
They're supposed to be balanced. They're supposed to be, like, bikes have better off-road and have better cornering, but they can't do a double drift.
Yeah, they're supposed to have a lower top speed, but bikes can do wheelies.
Bikes can do wheelies.
Which
and
quickly accelerates.
And courses like Sherbert Lake, the one with the penguins in Shy Guy Beach, they all get negated. It's all negated, and they're like, off, like, terrain, what's that?
Well, what did you think of Mario Kart 7, though?
I like Mario Kart 7 more than Wii.
But you don't hate Wii.
No, I don't. But I'm not going to say I like the item race and the fact that if there's a kart you like the Wild Wing, that makes you think of a Mustang. But, no. I want to use it, but the game makes it go like, if you do use it, you're just saying, please beat me, I don't want to win.
Yeah. But, I don't know. I'm not as big of a fan of it, but is it safe to say that I'm better at it than you are?
I've beaten DS in 7.
Well,
and Wii.
Yeah.
So no.
Okay, then I'm going to have to race you again soon.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I'm naturally better at it than you are, but I haven't played it in a while. So, do you want to just move on to the next game?
Go ahead.
Okay, I'm going to go on to the game that I'm probably most excited... The upcoming game I'm most excited for, other than Smash Brothers. We're going to do a separate video on Smash Brothers, but... The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker HD. It's my third favorite video game of all time. I cannot wait for it.
Oh no! Triforce Stars on a boat! Okay, that makes no sense.
Well, actually, it was addressed that, like, they're, like, aware, like, the Triforce Quest was, like, the thing that people were most bothered with the game, even though I personally didn't mind them, but... Yeah,
it's kind of artificial padding in your game.
Yeah, they're apparently doing something with that to, like, make it a little less arduous, I guess. And, yeah, I freaking love that game. I'm such a huge fan of that game. I mean, compared to all the other games, like, I've seen, like, some really interesting, exciting stuff from Nintendo, but, like, this game, I know I'm going to enjoy it. Like, unless... Barring any major programming screw up, I know I'm going to enjoy the game.
Oh, you got you got Link's Master Sword fully charged at the start, but you had to pay for everything else.
Oh God, that's not going to get old to you anytime soon, is it?
No, that is still. I'm sorry, folks. That is a stupid gameplay decision.
But. Some of the changes that we've seen that, like, other than, like, the graphics, obviously, it looks really good. And apparently you told me, like, oh, it has to be Ocarina of Time, even though it was remade a year, like, 2 years ago.
Like, why we have to make an HD Ocarina of Time, I say, folks,
you just
it's been done to death. Forget about the 3DS. Been done to death. Majora's Mask deserves it more than Ocarina of Time.
And we'll get to the other Zelda game that's coming out, but like one of the other changes is that you can sail faster, which is pretty cool, I guess.
I had no problem sailing across the sea. Then again, I got to the point where if I had to get to a certain island, I just kind of warped near the closest place to it.
Well, that's what you would do anyway, even if the boat moves faster. I mean, it doesn't move extremely fast. Well, actually, compared to the original, it does move quite fast. And, like, I think haven't seen, like, too much of, like, actual usage of the gamepad with the game, but, like, there's, like, an inventory system where you can, like, slide the item, like, I think, like, right to... You can switch items, like, very quickly. You can, like, use the gyroscope on the gamepad to aim, or you can aim with the joystick. Or you can just play the entire game with your gamepad if you want to, if, like, someone's using the TV, or you need to use the bathroom.
Oh, in the bathroom.
How many minutes has it
been?
Yeah, I was just about to say, it's been almost 14 minutes in, and you already had to reference somebody else. But, yeah.
Does anyone know if the Wii U Pro controller can be used?
I'm not sure about that myself, but I absolutely wouldn't mind using the gamepad. I like the idea of being able to, like, switch items in my inventory very quickly. The one thing
we get to be able to mark our map like we could in, like, say, Phantom Hourglass or
like,
Spirit Tracks.
Or even Skyward Sword. Well, Skyward Sword had something like that. But, I don't know. Well, the one thing you were kind of, like, not very happy about is, like, they didn't include the downward staff. Seems like.
They don't see the I don't know why things like Ocarina of Time or the Ocarina of Time 3D remake or Wind Waker remake, like, I know that's from later games. Technically, it showed up in Adventures of Link, but is it really that jarring if you could do the downward stab and finish off an enemy when it's on the ground?
I personally think the game doesn't need it. It's awesome enough without it. But yeah, my favorite Zelda game, my third favorite video game of all time being remade in HD. I cannot wait for that. So, yeah, let's just go to the other Zelda game, The Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds, the official sequel to A Link to the Past. I don't know why I'm bringing it up, because we've never played A Link to the Past. I've seen some of... Now I'm going to name drop. I've seen some of Josh Shepson's Let's Play of the Game Boy Advance version, but I haven't finished it. I've been meaning to get back to that, but... All I can say about it, A Link Between Worlds is that you get to do this weird...
Paper Link.
Yeah, I guess that's the best way to...
So Link found a black treasure chest, and that treasure chest decided to curse him.
Yeah.
Now, whenever you have the ability to walk across walls, haha, your life is ruined.
Yeah. But, I don't know. I'm not gonna... It's not on the top of the list. I mean, I love Zelda games, but I kind of prefer the 3D Zelda games. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the top-down ones. I mean...
Minish Cap?
Oh, I liked Minish Cap. It's just freaking hard. Like, Minish Cap is... Do Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks count as...
I say they do, because...
Well, I love both of those games. Like, ironically enough, Phantom Hourglass was the very first Zelda game I ever really played through. And I really liked it, and then... When Whitaker I played next, and, like, I fell in love with the game. I fell in love with it, but... Yeah, Link Between Worlds, I don't know, I don't have much to say about it since, like... I don't know. I've been thinking about trying to Link to the Past beforehand, but then again, I didn't need to play Wind Waker first to enjoy Phantom Hourglass. So yeah, that's all I have to say about A Link Between Worlds. Do you have anything else to say about it?
It's on the 3DS.
Okay, so the next game I wanted to talk about is this one was kind of a surprise. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze.
Oh no, we made a game after we put it on the 3DS.
I think that's what caused me to... I mean, I wanted a sequel to that, don't get me wrong, but I was surprised that they did it so soon.
Well, I guess we should be glad they didn't put the sequel on the 3DS. I mean, okay, I like... But don't get me wrong, it wouldn't be so bad if you put it on the 3DS. I mean, I played Dark Moon beginning, and it was pretty awesome.
But I think the thing they wanted to do is, like, Donkey Kong in HD. And it looks really good. I mean, I like how Donkey Kong looks in this game than he does in an upcoming Smash Brothers game. Donkey Kong has always looked weird in Smash Brothers games to me, but...
I liked him, personally, I liked him more in Brawl in the first one where he...
Really? Those are the ones I like the least, actually.
You like... I'm sorry, the one in Melee, he doesn't make me think Donkey Kong.
To me, he does in Melee, but... So, yeah, for Tropical Freeze, like, no crumblings again. Very surprisingly, I've seen very few people complaining about that.
I found one person complaining about crumblings.
And that's a reasonable complaint, because, like, they haven't, like, the last game Corolla has been in, I'm pretty sure, is Mario Super Sluggers, and that was back in 2008.
That wasn't even a Donkey Kong game. I think that was a spin-off. It might have been that. Well, technically there was a DS game.
No, I looked up King Corolla before, like, a few days ago, because I remember someone commenting that, like, the reason why Corolla is in this game is because Corolla's owned by Rare. I'm like, no, if he is, then why would he be in a Mario game?
Did Mario, the Nintendo, and Rare work something out to go, okay, here's Corolla. Some people might say,
can we have Banjo-Kazooie 3?
Oh, well, no. You get the talent drop, but you have to pay for every move.
Yeah, that really isn't gonna get old to you. But
It'll get old to everyone else.
oh yeah,
not today.
the one really stupid complaint that you brought up is that people have apparently complained like, oh, it's 2 hits, therefore it's going to be too easy.
I played Rocket Barrel, and you could have 8 million hits. One,
Yeah, the thing I
you get
want to
hit
bring
by
up,
cannonball, down you go.
Donkey Kong Country Returns. By the way, I loved that game, and I think it easily competes with the first 3 games. Although 2 is still my favorite, but Donkey Kong Country Returns is definitely my second favorite. And like, that game is freaking hard. Like, I'm playing the 3D version right now, and well, not right now, but like, you know what I mean. But it is it is almost ball-bustingly hard. Because here's an example of why Donkey Kong Country like Returns isn't too easy because of the 2-hit system. No, the minecarts, the minecart gimmick. It's been in the first game. You had the roller coaster in the second game, and you had the bobsled in the third game. Those are essentially the same type of things. When you get hit in those games, you just lose your character. If you have both of your characters, you just lose one character, and you just take the hit and you go on. In Donkey Kong Country Returns, if you hit anything with the minecart, you immediately die. It doesn't matter if you have 4 hits. It doesn't matter if you have 10 hits. With the banana juice that grants you invincibility, you immediately die.
You need the Crash Guard, and I'm exclusive.
Yeah. In fact, people thought the game was too hard, so that's why Nintendo came out with this 3D version. So they gave you like things like they give Diddy and Donkey Kong like 1 extra hit, and like you mentioned the Crash juice,
the Crash Guard,
or the Crash Guard,
where it protects you. The phase that you would have died from Rocket Barrel or minecart failed. Yeah, you get to take 2 hits before you're done for good.
Yeah, and the green balloon, which saves you from falling into a pit.
Personally, I don't think you need the green balloon.
And an extra... Oh yeah, that's another thing. About the DK barrel system. Like, there are levels that don't have DK barrels in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, if you bring Diddy with you, and if you die, and you're gonna be pretty much on your own.
At that point. And
it's not like the other games where, like, you can get a DK barrel to, like, get that extra hit back. It's like...
Well, because you're not doing a multiplayer, Diddy has been reduced to a power-up. Which is sad, because Diddy's done cool shit.
Yeah. I mean, we don't know if you get to choose which characters you can play as, because... In addition, I'm really happy about this. Dixie is back, finally.
Yeah. So it's before, like, we had Samus Aran, and now Upper M showed up, and,
Yeah, like, back in the day, Dixie was, other than Samus, she was, like, the only, like...
Nintendo heroine that wasn't in another castle.
Yeah. And, like, with Dixie, like, she's in... The DK barrels, you find her, and, like, instead of the red DK on the barrel, it's pink, and you could use her with Donkey Kong, which is still kind of a bit weird to me. Seeing DK and Dixie together is kind of weird to me, but, like,
some people rather have that than Dixie and Kitty.
Not Brain Scratch Combs, apparently, but...
Yeah. We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, we'll just leave it at that. We'll just say, in terms of Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze and Super Mario 3D World, I disagree. I'll just say that. We'll just leave it at that. But, yeah, apparently Dixie, like, she can, like, give DK, like...
A double jump.
An upward jump.
It's kind of a double jump.
Yeah, like, the main difference is that she gives you extra height that Diddy couldn't.
She gives you vertical height, Diddy gives you horizontal, I think. He kind of gave you...
I guess. But yeah, like, since there are no Kremlings or Vikings, which... I got... Once again, surprisingly few people complaining about that, but...
People might like them more than... I'm not sure if people like them more than random tikis.
I don't... You know what? I won't say that I actually like the tikis. Like, in terms of, like... competent enemies, because like I remember like this, there are like two variations of this one crab enemy. There's one that you can jump on and you beat it, and it has its claws out, so you can't like walk into it. The other variety is a red one with like a bandana, and you have to hit him twice. You have to jump on him first, and then he'll then hold his claws up, so you can't jump on him.
Again.
So you have to roll into him or cartwheel into him, and
Maybe
like
kind of like a spear guys in Paper Mario.
yeah, I guess. And the red crabs, they can be surprisingly annoying. I mean, they're not in normal situations. They're not really that hard to take care of, but some like the title terror level where there's a wave. Where there's a wave impending doom that instantly kills you, by the way. Like, they're gonna be in your way, you have to get rid of them, because otherwise you'll take a hit from them, and then there's a impending wave of doom. Like, but yeah, I think they were, like, in terms of getting in your way, I think they were really well-designed enemies. And I'm hoping the same thing for these new enemies, the Vikings. And one interesting thing, like, so the story is like, Donkey Kong, it's essentially kind of like New Super Mario Bros. U.
If that indication is anything, yeah, DK and his friends get thrown off their island and they have to go travel all the way to get back there.
Yeah, because the Vikings, like, they take over, and based on that implication, like, the last world is going to be an ice world. If they get back to DK's island, it's kind of like an ice world. Kind of like how, once you get back to Peach's Castle, New Super Mario Bros. U, it becomes essentially
Lethal Lava Land.
like any...
like any Mario platform.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, that's kind of interesting. And
according to developer interview, there's supposed to be a fourth
yes.
character. They never said who it is.
Nope, they haven't said who it is yet.
If anyone knows or wants to guess, or have their own theories.
My best bets right now are Kitty. As much as people might not want it, I kind of think it would be interesting because, like, he was a Donkey Kong Country character. Another possibility I can think of is Tiny, since her redesign, like, she's been in, like, a bunch of games lately.
Most of the spin-offs.
Most of the spin-offs. Well, there haven't been many main series Donkey Kong games recently, anyway.
No.
But I think some people wanted to be... I think a lot of people have suggested Funky, which is...
Which would be cool, but his character, he doesn't like adventures, so...
Well, that doesn't mean that he doesn't help out at all. I mean, think about the ending of Donkey Kong 64.
Think about Donkey Kong 64 entirely, where he's giving everyone guns! So DK's gonna be using guns and swearing!
Why are we referencing... But that's kind of different, like...
Where's that damn fourth golden banana?
Alright, only... yeah, only 197 more to go.
Yeah, Christ.
But, like, that's different because, like, the guns were, like, they shoot fruit and coconuts. Yeah, they have weapons, but they're kind of fruit-based, so that kind of makes it, like, more kid-friendly. But, yeah, I'm really excited for it. Oh, yeah, one more difference. There's, like, underwater sections now.
Yep, I can say is, DK, I'm glad you can swim again. I wish you didn't bring the realism of having an having.
Oh yeah, that's another thing I want to bring up. Like, yeah, having the 2 hits makes it harder. Yeah, well, at least in the first 3 Donkey Kong Country games where you went underwater, it didn't kill you with the air supply.
Yeah.
It didn't have an air supply system.
You couldn't fight unless you found on guard.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. Like, Donkey Kong Country Returns, it only had Rampy in it. Well, Squawks was there too, but he served in...
He was your radar.
Yeah, he served...
He's your dragon radar.
Yeah, he served an entirely different purpose in that game. But, like...
He doesn't give you
that's not one thing I haven't seen people talking about, the return of Animal Buddies. Like...
What, they're gonna have more?
No, like... Do you want... Like, people aren't talking about how if they wanted them back, because only Rambi was in Returns.
Well, I guess Squirter. Squirter was the coolest. He was a spider.
Yeah,
He essentially had a gun and it could make his own platform.
Yeah, that's the one thing.
He broke it.
One of the one thing that really amazed me about Donkey Kong Country Returns is that even though that there were there were no Kremlings, there was only one, technically two animal buddies, and very few Kong characters. Even though it was missing all of that, they really focused on the gameplay itself. Like, the gameplay was top-notch in my opinion, and that more than makes up for all the little niceties that the game lacks, like other Kong characters or the Kremlings or things like that, or the animal buddies. But I would want them to bring back more animal buddies. I don't remember if they showed Rambi in the first few trailers of Returns or not. But
Tropical Freeze.
No, I'm thinking about like back at Returns, because like I'm not sure if we saw like any of Rambi in that game too. My point is, like, if they didn't show any animal buddies at the beginning there, that doesn't mean like they could.
I know the Kongs have an underwire attack, but I would kind of like to see on guard still.
Yeah, on guard is pretty much. Yeah, the only reason on guard. I'm betting you anything. The main reason why on guard wasn't in Returns is because there are no underwater levels.
There was no water levels, so on guard was only there to make sure a water level didn't kill you, because you got no way to fight. Period.
Yeah. But yeah, since now you do have an attack, that might make on guard kind of pointless.
Oh man.
Well, they could give them something like it makes it easier to swim, or you can swim faster, or something like that.
Somehow, being with on guard,
and still give them an attack, because like Rambi in Returns he's freaking boss in that game.
You thought he was broken in like the first two games.
In Returns, he gets to run on spikes.
He gets to make spikes disappear. Pretty much, as long as nobody attacks him from above or from behind, he pretty much.
No, even from behind, he back kicks stuff.
Oh damn, that's badass.
Yeah, Rambi was freaking awesome.
Bucked them?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes, he does that. If an enemy is approaching from behind, he literally bucks them.
Christ, I did not know he could do that.
So yeah, really excited for Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. Like, I wanted them to do a sequel, and I wanted them to include Dixie. And I just didn't think it would happen this soon. So, do you have anything else to say about that?
No.
Okay, let's move on to the game that surprisingly impressed me, Super Mario 3D World.
Yeah.
And
at first glance, I was like, oh, they're making a 3D Mario game. Well, I knew they were going to.
Yeah,
anyway.
we knew that.
And then I'm like, oh, it's going to be like 3D Land again.
Yeah, like... and then, like... Oh, Katsu. Which looks kind of broken, by the way.
I want chicken, I want liver, no miss, please deliver.
Please, people, make lolcat parodies with Mario.
I found one person make a little cat with Mario.
Oh, you didn't show me that. I would have liked to see that.
Well, it was a comment, so...
Oh. But, like, anyway, we're watching it. You watch the trailer, or the Nintendo Direct of it, like, oh, you see Mario, it's a 3D land type of, like, game, like, oh, you see the Katsu, which looks kind of fun and kind of broken at the same time. He gets to climb up walls.
Parkour.
Although, like, that's limited. I saw it, it's limited. It doesn't, like, let you climb indefinitely. And then you see Luigi in a mansion, appropriately enough. I love how they did that, by the way. And you see him jumping, moving his legs.
Oh wait, does Luigi have his attributes from Mario, older Mario games where he can actually jump higher than everyone?
Yeah, and he scuttles a bit. And then Princess Peach. Freaking Princess Peach is playable in this game. Now, you get, like, Mega Man and Smash Brothers, in my honest opinion, does not top this. It really doesn't. Peach can throw fireballs.
Peach got a fire flower. She doesn't have PMS like she did in that DS game. Not saying it's bad or anything, but let's face it. Mario in his game got a raccoon tail. He got to shoot fireballs. He had a cave. He got a Starman and turned invincible. In Peach's game, yeah, she could cry.
But in this game, she throws freaking fireballs. And for what we know, Bowser is this game. So yeah, you can. And Toad is also in the game. He runs the fastest.
And he dropped like a rock when he jumps.
Yeah, so it's essentially Super Mario Bros. 2 meets Super Mario 3 Land.
And New Super Mario Bros. Because guess what? This is a multiplayer game, and the mayhem will start again when people will...
Yeah, I cannot wait to see the Runaway Guys and We Like to Play and Super Gaming Brothers do this game.
Please, guys, tell us you're going to be doing these games. Sometime soon, or...
Well, knowing We Like to Play, I still cannot pronounce that name. They'll probably do it around launch, because they tend to do stuff like that. They're doing that with the Super Luigi Brothers, which we'll get to in a little bit, but like... I'm so amazed by Peach gets stuff like Bowser.
If Bowser's in this game...
Which he is.
If he isn't, I'm going to go, well, why is the flag still...
Yeah, why is the flag there? In fact, when the characters died... Oh yeah, that's another thing. When the characters die, you hear the death music is from Super Mario Bros. 3. Which is kind of cool, because they've been using the Mario 1 one so many times.
You have to know that they remember that... I'm surprised they didn't play Super Mario Bros. 2.
But yeah, they have that Bowser wipe when you die, so yeah, Bowser is in this game. So, and yeah, like you mentioned, Team Trumps, Mario and Peach, officially a battle couple now, because you can play as Mario and Peach throughout the entire game. That's another awesome thing about this game. It seems like you can choose which character you want to play as and play through the entire game as that character you want. So, yeah, I'm probably going to play through the entire game as Peach, because secretly I've wanted a game like this for Peach for so long.
That isn't Super Princess Peach, where she essentially becomes she acts like a woman and uses her emotions.
Yeah, that was kind of a bit of controversy. That was kind of a sexist game, but...
Well, I would raise my eyebrows if they gave Peach an arm cannon. So...
Yeah, exactly. Another returning power-up is the Tanuki Suit. Or, as you like to call it.
If it's gonna be... let me turn to stone. There better not be another leaf that just lets me give me a bandana.
They're probably gonna do that. But yeah, I've seen people complain about this game, like, oh, it's just another Mario game, where like, they attempted nothing to do differently. Peach throws fireballs!
14. Oh, sorry.
If someone can name one other game that isn't Super Mario Bros. X, that doesn't count, where Peach can throw fireballs, then I'll let you say that this is just another Mario game. That absolutely... They put effort into this. I'm sorry, they definitely put effort into this.
They put more into it. At the surface, yeah, we could kind of acknowledge that, yeah, it's 3D land again, but...
But that's a formula that hasn't been used that much. It's only been used in one game, and you personally, like, prefer that formula.
Yes, because, folks...
Like, for your opinion of the other 3D games is, like...
They're there. I never hated them. People like them, that's fine, but Mommy's like, it's not really a Mario game. This is something entirely... It's a platformer, but it doesn't play exactly like a Mario game.
Yeah, like, what in the old school 2D Mario games do you go around collecting power stars and going back to the same level over and over again just to get a different star? Like...
Yeah, that's kind of like a generic platformer.
Yeah.
You might as well... Banjo-Kazooie practically did the same thing, except you actually stay in the hub once you find set.
Until you died.
Until you die. Or you just go back to the little panel thing. But... Yeah.
Yeah, it's like... Okay, the idea with the 3D land and 3D world is like, okay, let's take what we did in the 2D games, but put them in a 3D perspective. And I'm surprised it took them that long to do it too. Like, I mean, Sonic's been doing that since he jumped into 3D, no matter whatever people say. But
yeah. No, folks, if you complain about the homing attack, it was a Sonic 3D Blast. That's our sidebar.
but yeah, like, I'm really impressed with what I've seen so far. Oh yeah, and the water level where you get to ride like this orange dinosaur like thing, and like the music that's played there, the slide music from Super Mario 64, and like
so cue to many deaths.
Oh yeah, another weird thing about this game is you all share lives.
Yeah, so
I didn't check to see, but like I should have looked at that. Like if you died. If you're playing 4 players and if you all die
at the same time,
do you lose 1 life or do you lose 4? Because losing 4, like, that would make the game pretty difficult.
Well, it probably might just eventually might become a time where people it probably feels safer you play the game with 2 players.
Yeah, because Donkey Kong Country Returns did that, and I'm assuming Tropical Freeze will do that.
There's other time where you just rather have one guy. But it might as well just be the other character.
But the other thing is, I think they kind of balance it out a little bit with the fact that it seems like if your character is left behind, they kind of warp you. I think that's how it works. I can't say for sure.
Because in other games, if you're left behind, you're pretty much dead.
That's why they gave you the bubble feature in the new Super Mario Brothers games. But yeah, I'm really excited for this. Way more excited than I thought it would be.
Yeah, see what happens when you diversify your characters there, Nintendo. You make a game with the simple, basic concept we've seen over and over already more interesting.
Yeah, like, this already beats Super Mario 3D Land. I mean, I liked it, but I thought it was a good first attempt at that style, but, like, there were problems with it. Like, yeah, another thing, like, one of the biggest problems with 3D Land is that, like, it only had, like, 3 bosses.
3 bosses, folks.
Like, Boom Boom, Pom Pom, and Bowser. I mean, granted, they
kind and the ones with Bowser were the more interesting. The Bowser encounters were more interesting.
I mean, the one with, like, the ones with Boom Boom and Pom Pom, they at least changed it up a little bit, but still...
Like, I don't think they should be end of the world. They're mid-boss quality, not end boss.
Like
world.
Oh yeah,
quality.
The one boss they showed, completely original type of boss.
It's not Boom Boom, it's not Pom Pom, it's not Bowser Jr. or the Kooplings, or Reznor.
It's an entirely, like, new, different boss.
Like, it looks kind of like Gobblegut.
Yeah.
Well, it might be related because there's plates on its head because gobble num num.
But like another, yeah, it seems like you kind of have to use like your cat form to get up there. I'm not sure.
Let's hope that's not the case because
yeah,
he kind of crippled if he got hit.
Yeah. Maybe they have something else, who knows? Maybe you can fireball him or something, who knows? But, like, yeah, another thing about the cat, yes, you can use it to climb up the flagpole.
So, after what's that? You don't need to do that long somersault jump.
Well, I'm not sure they're going to include the gold flag system again.
Some people might not want that because they're kind of BS what you had to do. What was it to get there? You had to gold flag every stage with Mario and Luigi.
Yeah, it's to unlock one level. it's essentially the Grandmaster Galaxy, except not quite as hard. Another like kind of cool thing are these transparent pipes. Apparently, the idea is like, what does Mario look like going through a pipe?
And now there's various obstacles like fuzzies and spike balls, and some enemies like Fire Bros can shoot things into the pipes.
But you can do that too.
And you can jump over some of the pipes and walk on top of them, I think.
I don't know why would you do that. Oh yeah, another reference to the Galaxy games. Instead of like like the star medals or star coins, like you collect green stars.
What makes me wonder, will Rosalina have anything wrong with this?
I don't know. That's the interesting that's the interesting thing. What's the story going to be like? Because Peach isn't getting kidnapped unless they do like, oh, Bowser's trying to kidnap Peach, like Mario saves her, like Peach is with him and Bowser runs away or something weird like that. Or my joke is like you play the entire game as Peach, then you get to the final level, you see Bowser immediately catches you, game over. You have to play the entire game over again as Mario, Luigi, or Toad.
Or it's all a dream, as some people said. Yep, turned out it was a dream. Of course it was a dream. Princess Peach be competent?
I really hope not.
I hope it actually ends with no dream. It's not actually Mario sleeping in his bed. But then again, for all we know, it could have actually happened.
Yeah, true.
And Mario just dreamed about his adventure.
Oh yeah.
No, it kind of was never dead set about what that was.
I still remember the one seeing people, well, this is not a real Mario game.
I'm like...
Yeah, because they put the flagpole at the end just for fun.
Folks...
It's what you
question marks blocks. You were jumping on Goombas. Goombas that were in Super Mario Brothers.
How is this not a real Mario game? Just because you're not going around collecting stars. If anything, that's less of a, quote, real Mario game.
Like, let's get... this is gonna get ranty, folks. Sorry, but here we go.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Alright, let's see. You're in a big hub world, and then you go into a glorified hub world.
As you call it.
Bob Battlefield is a glorified hub world because, let's face the facts. Now, if you can get stars everywhere. Pretty much, you can go do one mission. You can go to the top to face King Bomb. You're just simply free to change up and grab that star.
Or just become invisible and go for it.
But you can do it yourself anytime you want. That might be good for open-endedness, but it makes your game kind of a cluster where it can be sequence broke so easily. And I don't really like that in a game where I can accidentally clear one mission.
Yeah, I've seen some people, like, I've been seeing two Let's Plays of Galaxy recently, and, like, they kind of don't know, like, where this leads to, and the Super Mario Galaxy games do it better, I think, because they're more linear. You kind of prefer the Galaxy games, because, like, they have, like, those, quote, glorified hub worlds, as you call them, but they also have sort of linear levels where you kind of go through from point A to point B.
I shouldn't be able to, like, if I wanted to do the 8 red coins mission, I do the 8 red coins. Some people might want to play a mission where you're supposed to go up to face the King Bomb, but you decide to do the 8 red coin mission. I'm like, why? I'd rather not do those kinds of things. I don't think I want people to do horrendous sequence breaking intentionally. No, they can kind of sort of glitch through the game like that.
But yeah, like, this is something that I've been wanting them to do for such a long time, because, like, one of my only problems with the new Super Mario Bros. Games, because, honestly, I love all the new Super Mario Bros. Games. And the one problem I had with Wii and U is that, like, all the characters played exactly the same, and you couldn't really choose which character you wanted to play as.
If you're a player 1, you're always Mario. Player 2 can be anyone else except Mario.
Yeah. And in this game, like, you can choose whichever character you want, and they have different abilities. Like, Peach has her floating ability. Toad can run the fastest. Luigi jumps higher. Mario's the most balanced one.
We say that, but it's actually Mario drives the van.
But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. I'm impressed with what I've seen from this game so far. I haven't been this overly excited for a Mario game in such a long time. So, do you have anything else to say about it? It's a real Mario game.
Yeah.
And there's effort put into it, so there. One thing a game that I'm gonna touch on, well, it's technically a game, New Super Luigi U.
To celebrate the year of Luigi.
Alright, I finally have my own game. What? 100 seconds!
Crap!
And for some reason, like, there's, like, the downloadable version, which is coming out in 2 weeks.
Or you can wait till August and buy it on a disc.
Yeah, like, it's kind of, if you're planning to buy into this, you're getting doubly screwed. You're in a lose-lose situation, where it's like, because, like, the download, it costs $12.99, and, no, not $12.99, $19.99. The download costs $19.99, and you get it sooner, whereas the disc costs $29.99, and you get that later.
Well, it could be worse. It could be $499 US. $499 US.
Well, I don't know. $29.99. I mean, they obviously couldn't get away with making it $59.99. That would be really stupid.
No way.
For something that's the equivalent of downloadable content. I mean, it has 80 brand new levels but they're only 100 seconds long.
And for some reason, no Mario. His hat's there on the table.
Well, that's to give Luigi the spotlight.
But player 2 can't be Mario, or...
No Mario.
The two play exactly the same, but Luigi himself plays differently.
Like, yeah, he essentially plays like Lost Levels.
So...
So if you couldn't play as someone Lost Levels, you're gonna have...
You're gonna have trouble. My brother plays as Lost Levels because he considered Luigi's Bad Traction a small
screw
sacrifice.
playing as Mario in Lost Levels. Mario's jump sucks way too much. I need that jump. I can deal with... I can compensate for the traction. I cannot compensate for Mario's crappy jump in that game. Oh yeah, another weird thing. Nabbit. You get to play as Nabbit.
And he's pretty much...
And he's incredibly broken.
I think he can do most of the things Luigi can do.
Yeah, the deal with Nabbit is he can't use power-ups, but he takes absolutely no damage whatsoever from enemies or hazards. He just passes through them.
And I'm not sure if he can survive falling down to his death.
That I'm betting he couldn't survive, or falling in lava, or the...
Drowning.
Or the... What do you mean drowning?
You know, where you just drop in the water and just let yourself fall to the bottom of the screen for some reason.
Or the purple instant death liquid that might as well be lava.
Yeah. Poisonous water.
Yeah, poisonous water. And Nabbit does what he does. He picks up and pilfers things. Like, if he picks up an item, he'll just hold onto it. And when he gets to a flagpole, how many other items he has, he gets a 1-up each time for how many items he has at the end of the level.
What a douche.
So yeah, if you're playing with your friends, Nabbit will be like essentially give that to the person who's like, I guess, who has the most trouble with the game. Which is a possibility since the levels are only 100 seconds long. But yeah, it looks interesting. I would like to get it. Like, celebrating the year of Luigi, I want to do that.
Let's celebrate the year of Luigi by giving him 88 levels and only giving him 100 seconds.
And making Nabbit better than him.
Make Nabbit practically immortal. Yeah.
I love that.
Out for Luigi.
Yeah, it's year of Luigi steps in dog crap.
Yep. Dark movies and blind and he stepped in dog crap. Stepped in dog crap, gets 100 seconds in his levels, and the guy who's behind him plays just as better as him and is practically immortal.
I'm still wondering how... Because Rewrite to Pride, they're doing so much name dropping. They're doing a Let's Play of, like, New Super Mario Bros. We had called Newer Super Mario Bros. Wii, and they mentioned that they were going to do New Super Luigi U. I wonder who's going to play it too.
Of course, it'll probably be Luigi, or maybe...
Well, Tyler's always Luigi. They can't change that. But yeah. I'm interested in it. I like the idea that it's being on a disc. A bit expensive, and kind of don't like the fact that it's a little late.
$499 US.
What game would cost $499?
Yeah, I know.
Not anything. Anyway, let's go to a game that you've become pretty interested. The Wonderful 101.
Yeah, it's a game. I don't know that much about it, except it's what people call Pikmin with superhero. I think the blue guy, the superhero, the blue guy is voiced by Roger Craig Smith.
Oh, really?
People said that, and I listened to it, and he kind of sounded like Roger Craig Smith. I should have gotten you.
Does it sound like Sonic?
A little bit.
And he's blue.
Yeah, he's blue, and he can turn everyone else into a sword to attack enemies.
So, Sonic and the Black Knight with Roger Craig Smith.
Yeah.
So, do you want to, like, explain how the game works? Like,
essentially, you're a group of superheroes. It's kind of like, it really is kind of like Pikmin. There's like 100 of you guys running around or so.
Isn't it 101?
Maybe 101, because it's the wonderful 101. Enemies, giant robots will attack. You can turn, the characters can form up. They can unite to turn into like a giant fist. Like the red guy, the leader, can turn everyone into a giant fist where he can use to punch the crap out of everyone. One who's green, he can form everyone and shoot them with his magic gun. He's like Green Lantern. They're like Green Lantern, except that they come.
They are the ring.
They're all the ring. The blue guy can turn people into a sword and use it, and one can turn them into a whip and grab enemies and slam them around.
You get to like do this, like the environments are kind of like weird. Weird in the sense that like you're doing it in a city or a baseball field.
Enemy shoots something at you, you can hit them back, you turn everyone into a baseball bat and swing it back at them. That's crazy.
But yeah, like, you might eventually try this game?
Yeah. Oh yeah, Pikmin 3! Fucking punch jump!
Oh, wait, Pikmin 3! Yeah!
To note, whoever was taking a shot at EA, I have nothing against.
Oh, by the way, Pickle 2! Yeah! Falcon Punch Jump!
That's great, I never even heard of the first game.
Yeah, that's a good way of introducing a game, isn't it? Just say that. Just do that.
I'm not sure if you'll like that game, so...
Well, it got a sequel.
Doesn't mean it was good, does it? Sometimes some games get a bad sequel. Or sometimes bad games don't want it.
Well, name one.
Okay, technically I can only name movies, but in your case, Sonic 2.
I don't hate Sonic 2. I dislike Sonic 2. Yeah, come at me, bro. I don't like Sonic 2. I'm just gonna put that out there right now. I don't like Sonic 2. I think it's the most overrated video game of all time. Sonic Unleashed is better. Anyway, moving on. I'm not sure about the Wonderful 101. I might try it. I don't know, but
yeah, it's co-op.
Yeah. Well, you've been playing Muramasa the Demon Blade. I've been meaning to get to that too. It looks fun. But anyway, okay, next game. Yoshi's New Island.
Man, I like Yoshi. I like Yoshi's Island. The problem is like, it might as well be New Super Yoshi's Island.
New Super Yoshi's Island.
But that name did make me cringe. Okay.
Well, what's in a name, really? Like,
it doesn't mean I think it's ruined forever, but part of me is like, some people
the name shouldn't detract from the quality of the game.
It doesn't, but it has.
Just wait until we get to Smash Brothers. But no one's gonna care about that.
Yeah.
Anyway, once again, we're doing so much nation farming. I remember, like, his Let's Play of Yoshi's Island, Miles Luigi mentioned, like, you know those fat shy guys where you eat them, you get what he called the I win egg. Like, you watch this new game, no, this is an I win egg.
It's giant, it's huge, it's like...
It's kind of like the Mega Mushroom in the new Super Mario Bros., but in egg form.
Yeah.
Because it bounces all over the place, it gives you extra lives and everything. Oh yeah, you mentioned that you didn't like the graphical style of it.
Not so much.
I mean, I do.
I like the sprite work more than...
Well, if it's in why would it be on the 3DS and not use like 3D models though?
Pretty sure Cave Story didn't have 3D models, but...
Cave Story 3D?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure the game Cave Story General didn't have 3D models. I might have been wrong, but...
Well, it doesn't seem like the other babies are going to be back. Which I guess is fine.
Because Baby Mario's annoying enough on his own.
No, Baby Wario was worse. Baby Wario had the worst cry ever.
Yeah.
The other baby cries I was perfectly fine with. Because they sound a bit more like babies, actually. Wario's like...
What is this thing?
What is it? What was that? God, that was the most annoying thing. That was honestly the most annoying thing about Yoshi's Island DS.
Not the its version of the billiard puzzle.
I didn't have a problem. Well, I don't remember having a problem with it. It's been ages since I played Yoshi's Island DS. Maybe I should play it again just for the title screen music. Actually, I'm planning to play through both of them again to kind of like prepare for Yoshi's New Island. I would like to be able to 100% the game, both of the games, but and watching 2 Let's Plays where they're trying to do 100% of the game.
Dear God.
It actually doesn't look quite as hard as I thought, but still, I think most of the difficulty comes from where they put some of the collectibles.
And one of the criteria is, you can't get hit once.
Well, with bosses. Because, like, you can't use the items during bosses. But
some... I use the stars during bosses.
Because that would make it too easy.
So, I have to go all the way there, and if I get hit once, I just got screwed out of my 100 points. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, good job.
You miss it by 1 point.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm interested. I want to play it.
It's a game.
What, you played the first 2?
Yeah.
So you're gonna play this one eventually.
Yeah.
Well, let's get to a game that I know you're gonna be much more excited about. Mario Luigi Dream Team.
AKA Luigi's Inside Story. Is that about to stomach your Luigi's dreams?
Well, that kind of adds to the Year of Luigi thing.
Yeah.
It gives Luigi more focus.
Now we're going to give Luigi, tiger claw hands and leather pants. Oh, Lord.
Wait, what do you mean by that?
Freddy Krueger.
What?
Yeah, like, and then that new one of Nightmare.
Oh!
Yeah, leather pants,
okay.
I think.
Oh, right.
I don't know, I remember hearing that somewhere.
Well, you're way more excited about this game than I am, since I'm not really interested in RPGs other than Pokemon, but, I mean, you're a big fan of the series.
Yeah. First one was the best, second one was, third one was pretty good. And the fourth one, even though it's essentially Luigi's Inside Story, but hey, I like Bowser's Inside Story, so the Dream Team should be fine.
And, like, I'm not sure, but when I think about the idea of the story, where the main premise is that you're traveling as Mario through Luigi's dreams, it could be kind of funny to get into. It's like their big chance to get into, like, the psychological workings of Luigi. I'm not sure how.
Luigi's Dream World, he is awesome sauce, and everyone worships the ground he walks on. And pretty much the tagline is in Luigi Dream, anything goes, including like having Luigi Pikmin, like millions and like hundreds of Luigis, go all out on someone, or use the Luigis to become a giant.
Wait, who was that? Who was that? Starlo? Is that her name?
Yeah, Starlo.
Yeah, she's
back. She was from Bowser's Inside Story.
Apparently, people like. Well, wait. Rule 34. Anyway.
She's a ball with feet. Come on, people.
Oh yeah, going back to Rule 34, you mentioned like someone said like, "Oh, Peach as a cat isn't as sexy as I thought it would be," and then I said to her, "So, oh, don't worry, the internet will take care of that."
I'm not gonna look, and don't you dare post any response videos showing it. We don't want it.
But wait, didn't Bowser's Inside Story also have that? What's the name of the suitcase again?
Oh, no Stuffwell.
Oh.
I know for a fact no Stuffwell.
Huh.
I like Stuffwell. I didn't like Partners in Time that much, but I like Stuffwell. Back to Adventure.
It's kind of weird. Like they introduced him in Partners in Time. He's in Bowser's Inside Story, right?
Stuffwell?
Yeah.
I don't remember. Pretty sure he wasn't. It was Starlo. Starlo pretty much took everything took over from there.
Oh. So yeah.
And I was pretty surprised that Starlo was making it return, because usually when usually a character in Mario Luigi shows up, they disappear. So will Prince Peasley make a comeback?
Well, except for
Thoughtful was in 1, 2, and 3.
Well, 3 is the main villain.
3 is the main villain, and he's dead. And I'm willing to bet he'll be a super boss because he'll get better. If he gets
that
better,
would be a kind of cool idea, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, and I probably will try to fight him. But
what was that one like attack that you showed me where like
that picture was Mario Luigi on a rocket skateboard. Lord, that was so hilarious. That's so weird and so eye-rolling, but so funny at this. It's so many things.
So, like, where does that rank up with all the other video games you heard about?
It ranks up higher than Yoshi's New Island.
Well, obviously. Well, Yoshi's New Island is sort of like in the middle for me, but like, are you more excited about that than, say, like, Super Mario 3D World? Well, obviously, you should be, because, like...
I like the Mario RPGs better than the Mario platformers.
Yeah, I should have done that.
My favorite Mario game of all time is Superstar Saga.
It's your favorite video game of all time.
And not only that, yeah, it's also my favorite video game of all time.
There was something else I was going to ask you
about. And since, you know, my brother's least favorite, on the sidebar, my least favorite game is Sonic Chronicles.
We're not.
And that's all we're saying on that.
Do not go on to that, please. So, is it like your #1 game that you're most excited about?
Yeah.
More than Smash Brothers?
Well, to be honest, another RPG's caught my eye, and we might be talking about sometime soon, or it might get a separate video. I don't know what.
It depends on what it is.
X and Y.
Oh, yeah, we're getting to that. I'm saving that for last, actually. Well, before that one other non-Nintendo game I'm gonna let you talk about. but before we get to X and Y, I want to talk about Sonic Lost World.
Uh-oh.
Galaxy ripoff.
Even though it's supposed to be based off of Sonic X.
Apparently, although Azuka apparently said it had no influence.
Yeah, sure. It shall give you the forecast that it wasn't intentional either.
Or, like, here, all these... are the Chaos Emeralds based off of Super Saiyan and all? No.
Not buying it. So because heck, what? Because Goku's eyes turned green. Well, so did Sonic's in Sonic 3 and Knuckles.
But admittedly, I will say that there are like similarities to Galaxy. I'm not going to deny that. I mean, the after image of Sonic using parkour reminds me of, or running on the wall in particular, reminds me of like Rainbow Mario to Super Mario Galaxy games. But like,
and our new villains, the Skylanders rejects.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna say this right now. I like their designs. I don't know why people hate their designs so much. I mean, if you look at, like, say, Chaos, or the Black Arms, or the Iblis creatures, or the Dark Gaia minions, which ones look more out of place than a Sonic game? I would rather have the Deadly Six. I like their designs. They're bright, they're colorful, they're cartoony, yet they still look like monsters. The way monsters should be, I think, should be in a Sonic game. So, yeah.
But part of me would say yes. That's part of me would say you can put them in Skylanders. I don't know why people keep calling them the Monstars, but there was like 5. The 6th guy, I think, was the boss, and he wasn't playing. He was just sitting in his little booth, smoking a cigar, being cut evil. Challenging to lose. Oh, Lord. Well, as long as Sonic's not challenging a basketball game. Oh.
He doesn't need to. He is a basketball.
Yeah.
But, there are a lot of, like, nice touches in this game. In terms of, like, referencing the classic games. Like, Sonic has the super peel-out feedback, which I was never a big fan of, but I actually like how it looks in this game.
And the weirdest thing of all, folks, Sonic has a run button.
Yeah, it's kind of weird that, like, when you first hear about it, you kind of think to themselves, why has Sonic Team never used this before? Why have they not thought about it before? Then you think to yourself, why have I never thought about that before? But yeah, that's
most platformer protagonists to some extent had a run button. Mario had one, Kirby had one.
Well, you double tap the control pad for Kirby.
But
yeah, it's still the same thing. But yeah, and he could in the spin dash is back.
Yeah.
Seeing very little usage of it though.
What, can it not kill enemies anymore? In which case I would say bull. Because essentially, folks, to simplify it, the short turns is hold down the right bumper, Sonic will run.
Hold down the left button, you go into spin dash mode.
Don't press anything, Sonic will walk. You essentially get to decide, uh-oh, time to speed up.
But another stupid thing that people complain about is like, oh my god, Sonic can run up walls, parkour ruined forever.
Yes, because Sonic has never done anything like running up a wall before this game. And I'm not talking about Sonic Adventure or Sonic Adventure 2.
Yeah, I mean, what about the crazy, like, bouncing from pillar to pillar like he's done in Sonic Adventure and Sonic Unleashed and Sonic 06? Where he just jumps insane distances from one... How is that not parkour? And you don't get to do anything that insane in Lost World.
You run up a wall. That's it.
Yeah, that's designed so you don't lose speed when you lose your momentum.
You hold down the run button. And the fact of the matter is, though, Sonic can move 768 miles per hour.
Not in this game. That's my one minor complaint. Like, I kind of wish Sonic still had his speed from, like, Unleashed and Generations, but...
When you held down the run button?
Yeah. There is one, like... I guess we could call it the Return of Mach Speed sections, except they look much better.
Yeah.
That's kind of, like, where you kind of get to move. Even then, it's still not quite that fast, but it's fast enough. I can accept that. And oh yeah, going back to the parkour thing, like the Mario Brothers have done it. In fact, in Super Mario World, they literally can run up like a 100-foot pipe with the assistance like of a little purple ramp. Like what the? No one complains about that ever.
Maybe they have. They're just hard to follow.
No, I've never seen anybody complain about that. Mario gets defy physics. Sonic, nope.
Even though Mario is complete utter BS, it's cool and all, but still, is it? And don't say it's only because of the fit cape feather, because you get to do that, because you can do that without the cape feather. You just run up the triangle, you'll go up it. Yoshi can't for some reason, and I still don't get that.
Huh. Another like old classic touches, like these cannons, like they kind of look like the ones from Oil Ocean Zone from Sonic 2. They kind of like they're like different types of cannons.
Now it's Sonic Kong Country. That's
Not
what I
really.
felt when I saw that one scene.
Sonic Country.
Yeah, where you jumped into the barrels in that not Sweet Mountain Zone.
Well, it's not Sweet Mountain. There's no mountain. That's one of the desert levels, by the way.
Oreo cookies, truffle, the Doom. Yeah.
And running on licorice.
Yeah, it makes you, that screams desert, doesn't it?
So does the honeycomb level.
Oh, Sega, were you smoking something? And you got hungry? Again? Because last time you did this, we got cheeseburgers everywhere.
What? I like Sweet Mountain.
Yeah, I like the music. Well, Act 2's music.
Oh yeah, speaking of Sweet Mountain Sonic Colors, Wisp.
Yeah, they're back. I was surprised they brought them back after, and they're like...
Which leads me to think that I saw someone point this out, the overarching storyline with, it's not much of one with the Wisp, like, because they were introduced in Sonic Colors, Sonic Generations has them, and now they're back in this game. I mean, for Sonic Generations, they're back for the touch of being in a Sonic Colors level.
But for some reason, when the Sonic Heroes level, Tails and Knuckles are nowhere to be found.
Well, I don't know how you can incorporate that with the modern Sonic gameplay. But anyway, the only ones that we've seen so far are the Laser Wisp, which was my favorite, and
Saturn. Something that makes a ring... you turn to Saturn and everything gets cubified.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if they were going to have entirely new Wisp, but like that's one that may be a 3DS exclusive, because they are doing the Wii U 3DS versions thing, which the 3DS version actually looks pretty good.
Even though it's being developed by Dimps.
I swear people liked Dimps before.
Well, they liked it when it was Sonic Advance.
And Sonic Rush.
And Sonic Rush.
Kind
and
of.
Sonic 4 showed up, and Sonic could stand on an incline with no... Yeah, the physics were wonky.
That doesn't make it a bad game.
No, it makes it different.
It's not bad, it's just different. Well, we've never played it, so we can't say anything about it. Oh yeah, story details. The story makes me laugh because it's essentially kind of...
Yeah, we're essentially doing Sonic Adventure and Sonic Unleashed and...
Well, those two technically don't count. It's more like Sonic Adventure 2, or...
Well, the BioLizard never really...
Essentially the plot is...
Just to quote again, it just showed up out of nowhere and rammed the arc up its ass.
Yeah. But the kind of funny thing about the story is, like, alright, Eggman has these animals, where, like, those are back, by the way, as a collectible, which helps you unlock things along with the red rings, the red star rings, and, like, the Wisps were there too. I don't know if he's captured them. For all we know so far is that they're just there. and that Eggman is like, alright, now he sees the Deadly Six and he tries to take control of them. That fails, so Sonic and Eggman team up to stop them. I love the irony that they're doing that at the beginning of the game.
That's usually at the end. And
Well,
we know,
not wait.
well, we know it might be. We might have to face them as the final boss, and Eggman is treated like the butt monkey, like he was in Unleashed, where he's like, "All right, Dark Eye, get that headshot." No, LOL, no. Pimp slaps Eggman out of there, and he gets Team Rocket in.
But yeah, oh yeah, number story detail. Tails, Knuckles, Amy. I'm laughing.
Oh, there. My brother said they were Tails was playable. He said no, and I wanted to punch him.
I don't know why I thought that was funny to troll him, but he got his not so fair revenge by showing me, sorry, a topless.
Yeah.
That was so unfair. And you admitted that was kind of overboard, so.
It was petty, and I kind of didn't care.
Well, yeah, they're not playable, and like, I've seen a lot of people complain. I've seen, like, there's actually a petition now. Someone on the Sonic Stadium posted a petition to get other playable characters back. And I mean, I miss other playable characters too. I mean, I kind of consider it one of the hallmarks of the series because the classics have done it. Sonic 2 and Sonic 3, which everybody loves, has done it. And now people who are complaining about wanting playable characters, even if they say, like, why can't we just have, like, one more playable character who's optional and plays like Sonic? People are like, no, why would you want those crappy characters back?
Well, it's not that they were folks. If they're thinking about Sonic Adventure 2 or Sonic Adventure where they play drastically different, that's not what we're referring to. Sonic and Black Knight, whether you liked it or hate it, when you get right down to the brass tacks, Gawain, Lancelot, and Percival, Knuckles, Blaze, and Shadow, respectively, they did have different ways.
No, you said Lancelot first. You said Lancelot before Percival. Technicality. I'm pedantic. Anyway.
Whatever. They play the same. They had differences, but in the core, at the very core, they played like Sonic. I think Gawain was slower, and Lancelot was pretty much, might as well be Sonic.
And Percival's the fastest if you give her,
like, I think, her ultimate weapon.
Yeah.
She's also the hardest to use, but, yeah.
Not that one time you used her. Remember when you used her, like, soul surge attack? And you just blazed through, like, half of the level without any problem whatsoever.
That's because there was, like, millions of enemies there.
But yeah, in that game you can play entirely as Sonic and not even touch the other characters.
They were there, and you can only play as them with the levels with the red spot.
Yeah.
And some people are simply, maybe those people asking, can't we just have that? That they have their skills they acquire, they have, like, Knuckles can glide and punch through stuff, Tails can fly,
No,
he has a hammer.
No, we can't, because either the characters suck, because they attribute the gameplay to the character, even if it's not what they have always had, which is unfair, or the fact that if Sonic Team spends time, like, developing the same core gameplay on one other character, just one, who you don't even have to play as, it'll detract from the quality. Yeah. Look at Sonic 2 and Sonic 3 and Knuckles. People consider those games awesome. And, like, Sonic 2, Tails was essentially Sonic in that game.
He can fly.
Not when you play as him.
Not when you play as him.
Which is one of my many problems with that game, but
one of them being Tails getting the Chaos Emeralds means nothing.
Yeah. And Sonic wasn't even perfected at that point. No, he wasn't. Jumping with all the Chaos Emeralds, becoming super when I didn't want to, is stupid.
Free Knuckles fixed this just by you double tap.
I mean, it's still kind of a problem with Tails and Knuckles, because if you try to glide or fly, and there are times where you have to glide as Knuckles to get past obstacles. Like, there are times where you do have to climb, so if you have all the Chaos Overloads or Super Overloads, if you jump, whether you like it or not, if you need to climb, you're becoming Super Knuckles or Hyper Knuckles. But yeah,
it didn't really drastically get you killed like the Sky Chase Zone or Wing Fortress Zone. It didn't get you killed.
Yeah, but like, in Sonic 3 and Knuckles, Tails can fly, Knuckles can glide and climb walls.
Make up for the fact that he had gimp jumps.
Yeah, and Sonic could use the elemental shields in ways that Tails and Knuckles couldn't.
And those elemental shields are apparently in the 3DS version. Don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
In the Wii U.
Yeah. But the really, I mean, they essentially played like Sonic in that game. They were optional.
Because you had to play. Because if you wanted the real ending, well, technically, if you wanted the real ending, you had to play as Knuckles. But
well, it's not the real ending, but it's the final ending. Let's say that.
Like
the ending.
Well, what are you talking about, Presto? Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles happened exactly at the same time.
Yeah. But, I mean, people consider that game awesome. Like, the best Sonic game ever, even though I don't think it is. But, I mean, I do really like it. I think it's an awesome game, but I don't think it's the best Sonic game. But a lot of fans do, and what was one of the hallmarks of that game? Getting to play as other characters. Like, Sonic Team can tweak the core gameplay while adding other characters slowly back into the fray. Like, they did it with Sonic 2 and Sonic 3 Knuckles.
They did it with Black Knight.
I don't see why they couldn't do it with this game. I mean, it doesn't ruin the game for me, don't get me wrong, but, like, it's been such a long time since we've seen other playable characters. So yeah, those of you complaining about that, Sonic 3 and Knuckles, that is all.
If you didn't like it there,
then,
well, we say you didn't have to. Yeah, there was Knuckles, but more or less it's more or less the same ending. Some people might just consider the ending with Sonic and the Sonic ending the canon one.
So, is there anything else I wanted to say about the game? Story? Oh yeah, the graphics. I don't know why I'm bringing the graphics up for this game in particular, because like games like Donkey Kong Country Returns, like he looks great in that game, but I've seen people complaining that the graphics are too cartoony, not realistic enough. Weren't people complaining that Sonic Unleashed looked too realistic? Now they're like, oh, now we want that back.
And then part of it's like, folks, I don't remember 06 where it eventually got stupid, where we had a realistic Eggman when that looked ridiculous, and Sonic was essentially, yeah, I know Sonic might as well could just be a giant mascot you see at Six Flags, but doesn't mean he should walk and act like one.
But the thing is, like, I remember people like hating the realistic environments in Unleashed,
and they were. And personally, I thought they were very.
I loved how they looked. Unleashed is probably the best looking video game I've ever played. What should tell you how many different video games I played? Not many different ones, but I mean, Sonic Lost World, while it's still kind of cartoony, it looks good. I mean, here's how good. I remember seeing a screenshot of like one of the fish badniks, like jumping out of the water. You can see the water droplets on them. That's a really impressive, attention to detail, I think. So I think the game, while it isn't photorealistic, while the environments aren't photorealistic.
Why is that a bad thing?
Yeah.
It doesn't. It's cool if it was, unless it's utmost.
But going back to what you were saying before, why does it need to look photorealistic? Why do the monsters have to look like, I don't know?
The Iblis ones. I thought the Iblis ones looked more ridiculous than the Nightmares. Iblis and the Black Arms look. Yeah.
Yeah, the dark guy minions were better, but these I like though. I like these designs. I'm sorry. Sonic is cartoony. What do you expect? Why do we need, like, ugly-looking monsters or aliens?
Or generic-looking monsters or aliens.
Do you have a favorite design for one of them?
I like
Zeke.
Fu Manchu.
Yeah, Zeke.
Yeah.
I guess without sounding too perverted, Xena. I don't know, I legitimately like the design.
She doesn't have a chakra and she won't scream,
No, it says she has green hair and horns sticking out of her head.
And then there's one that has Emo Kid. Cheer up, Emo Kid!
Zora is his name.
Yeah. He has a rose, but... So he's James. Oh, great. Let's see Rocket Monster.
James, except much more emo.
Emo James.
So yeah, and believe it or not, I'm actually still more excited for Super Mario 3D World than this game, which is kind of, don't get me wrong, I'm still really excited for this, but Super Mario 3D World, like, it's kind of ironic. Super Mario 3D World has, like, optional playable characters. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Breeze has, if you're a 2-player at least, maybe, optional playable characters. Sonic the Hedgehog doesn't. Sonic Lost World doesn't have that.
Because people get in a hissy if so much another character is playable. We're not saying that they even need to be required to play as. And even if they did, even if Tails, Knuckles, and Amy completely blew, they sucked so bad, you won't have to touch them because you just play as Sonic.
Yeah, exactly.
Even if they were bad, you can play as Sonic, so I don't see any problem with that.
Oh yeah, before we go on to Pokemon X and Y, like, the really weird thing about... One weird thing that I noticed from the gameplay is that, like, the item display, like, the time display, like, it's all there for a second if you stand still, but then it just disappears. Kind of like Galaxy. Oh yeah, another really weird change is that the count in the Wii U version, the counter for the time goes down.
Which is weird, because usually in a Sonic game, you can turn it off, I think, in later ones, but I think in the older ones, you have like 9 minutes.
10.
Well, 10 minutes?
Yeah. You die at 10 minutes, that's how it works.
Sonic had a Battle Royale collar on him.
I guess.
That was
Well, he has one in this game, apparently.
Yeah.
From what I've seen in the levels...
The camera goes
I noticed...
down.
Yeah, it goes... Not in the 3DS version.
The 3DS works like a regular Sonic game where the timer goes... And you're ranked on it.
Yeah, the Wii U version doesn't seem to have ranks.
It's like playing like a console version. Like all those old console Genesis, in a way.
Yeah.
Where you weren't really ranked on these things. But then again, what's the point of the score then? If I'm not getting ranked on any of this, why am I doing it? Killing these
another classic touch I noticed that they had, you know, like in like Sonic 1 where you're going towards the signpost,
where
points show up like if you jump.
Yeah,
they do that in this game too. Oh yeah, have we mentioned that you're also actually rescuing animals in this game?
Yeah, not just at the end. There's capsules hidden everywhere,
and they're inside the Batniks again.
and their side of Bagman.
To put it in perspective, Sonic Generations didn't even have that.
Sure?
Nope, it did not.
Oh yeah, they only had those missions.
Yeah, they had the missions, they had the reference with the capsules themselves, but they weren't actually in the magics in that game. Now you think fans would be excited about that, but no, they keep complaining about
Green Eyes. Still on Green Eyes. And apparently still on the name. They're both the same.
In case you don't know, he means Eggman / Robotnik. Which, I mean, nobody complained about that with Peach, Toadstool. The situations surrounding both of those were exactly the same, pretty much. Yeah, Mario fans got over it. Sonic fans, for whatever reason, didn't.
Because apparently, if we ever apply that he's called Eggman, really, 2013, we're still on this. Christ, that is stupider than Green Eyes.
Is it really?
Yes.
I don't know, I consider it just as stupid. But I think there was one other thing I wanted to say about it. I can't think of it now. Can you think of anything else to say about Sonic Lost World?
Well, it's shaping up to be a more interesting Sonic game, and they're trying to actually do platform without the boost to win.
I honestly didn't mind that, and I'm actually gonna kind of miss it. Because I loved going that fast. That was ideal Sonic to me, but...
At some point in time, Sega would have to stop doing that, though.
Yeah.
Because eventually, every Sonic game after that... I'm not sure how many games they could have kept up boost to win. Boost to win! Boost to win! Boost to win!
Yeah.
But I knew eventually they would have to nix boost to win.
But yeah, with all these little niceties that fans have been wanting for such a long time, you think they'd be excited, but no, they complain like, "Oh, Super Mario Galaxy challenge killing parkour, Scott later rejects."
Like, nothing original under the sun. There was never anything original under the sun.
But yeah, I'm really excited for it. Surprisingly, not as much as 3D World, but still really excited for it. Heck, you might even be able to play it, because...
I suck at Sonic games.
And is it because he moves too fast sometimes?
Yes, because I can't...
So, you might actually be able to play it.
Yeah.
Okay. Now on to Pokemon X and Y. Yeah.
Gen 6, didn't think it'd happen this soon. And
Yeah.
more so, I didn't expect it to happen at the same time.
Yeah. Worldwide release, October 12th this year.
Christ.
I mean, it's kind of funny because we were leaning towards that and later in...
I thought we would get like 2022, and Japan would have been... Okay, that's exaggerated. Maybe 2016, and Japan would already get like a third version by now.
If there is a third version, unless they pull a Black and White 2. But yeah, like Black and White 2, I think we got like 4 months, only 4 months after Japan. Usually we have to wait, like before that, we had to wait like a year.
For essentially, more or less the same game. For some reason.
Yeah. It's kind of funny because the anime is closer to, like, it's not so much further behind the Japanese version. They used to be like a year behind, now they're like, I think they're like maybe 20 to 30 episodes behind. It's really funny. It's really nice.
Yeah. And here, so far my opinions, Fennekin, God's sakes. And I see a fire moniker right there. I'm choosing the frog.
Actually, the one thing I want to bring up about that is, like, it was revealed at E3, brand new type, fairy type. Now I'm actually thinking that it might become a fire fairy type.
Oh, Christ.
Why? That's better than fire fighting. Because, like... It was cool when you did it with Blaziken. It was okay with Ember. I was like, really?
Really? And with Fennekin, I brought my DS against the wall and starting over and just choosing the goddamn frog. I'm choosing the frog. Like, no, you lose. Good day, sir.
Well, with Ember, I think Ember got away with it because it looks like Ganon. But it reminds people of Ganon, but I don't know. I really like Fennekin's design, and for the first time ever, I'm considering choosing the fire type because I always choose the grass type.
Yep. And then, whoops, firefighting. But let's hope it doesn't go to that.
I'm predicting Fire Fairy. I'm calling that right now. But yeah, the new fairy type. All we know about it is that it's good against dragon types.
Some people think it might be good against dark types, but probably think it might be weak against dark types, to be honest.
Well, why didn't they say that when they announced that? They specifically pointed out dragons. And I guess
I
because...
don't think you don't want to go introduce your type at all, but they get their ass beat by, like, whatever type. I'm like...
Well,
I think
actually,
we can mention its weaknesses without it coming off as...
Yeah.
Getting cursed out by everything.
Yeah, you know, it would be really hilarious if they just said, like, oh, they're strong against dragon types, and up until it's released, it don't say what their weakness is. So everybody just uses the fairy types because nobody knows what
and then
it's
find out they're weak against everything. Even splash attack does damage to them. Splash does.
I think their thought was, 5th gen, it introduced a lot of really overpowered dragons.
4th gen introduced a lot of overpowered dragons, but none of them are as bad as Kingdra.
What do you mean 4th gen? You mean
Garchomp?
Garchomp?
Yeah.
I don't think Garchomp's that bad, honestly.
Everyone's using Garchomp, but I still think Kingdra is worse.
Yeah, I do too. I thought about using that for my next team. I had to get back to White 2 because I'm gonna brag right now. I completed the Pokedex of that game. Not the event Pokemon. They don't count. The game doesn't count them, therefore I win. Oh yeah, by the way, the reward you get for that shiny charm, totally not worth it.
If everyone can say stories that they got the shiny charm, if you can tell stories that it worked, better for
I have
you.
yet to run into a single shiny. Granted, I haven't played a ton since completing the Pokedex, but I've tried a lot. I still haven't found one. But yeah, like Hydreigon, Haxorus, they're like new dragon types that are ridiculously overpowered.
And Haxorus is worse. Oh god.
Well, I personally think Hydreigon is the better overall Pokemon, but like Haxorus, you had trouble with Haxorus.
Iris's Haxorus is a beast if you're under-leveled.
I wasn't.
Murder half your party with little effort.
Unless you're me, who used Lucario and just ice punched him.
I think so. That was
Ice Punch is better though. That's probably why you were under leveled. I was slightly over leveled.
But now we have fairy type. Don't know the significance of fairies beating dragons.
Well, I don't know the significance of fighting's not being able to beat Buck.
I think that catching the fly with the chopsticks from Mr. Miyagi, you think that would give them an advantage, but nope. The mind over matter, yeah, that makes sense. The dirty fighter can't beat the noble fighter, yeah. Okay, fine. Water puts out fire. Fairies beat dragons? What, because we clapped our hands and we believed in them? Okay, maybe.
So yeah, a lot of new... Well, only 4... The funny thing is, a new type has kind of been speculated for a while when Sylveon was introduced, since we had no idea what freaking type it is. We couldn't place it with any particular type.
Yeah. And then we find out, new type.
Some people suspected new type fairy type, and they were right.
People wanted something like fairy type for a long time. I keep rumoring.
Oh, really?
It. I think I keep... Well, it's been a while, but I remember like a long time. It's like way back. That maybe in some Pokemon, like Magnemite got retconned into Electric Steel when Steel was introduced.
Yeah.
Pokemon like Gardevoir, Jigglypuff, Meryl.
Yeah, those are the examples they gave us of retcon Pokemon. But, like, Gardevoir is, like, Psychic Fairy now, and Meryl is Water Fairy now, right?
Yeah.
Wait, is Jigglypuff Normal Fairy?
I think Jigglypuff is Normal Fairy if Cerebi is any indication.
Clefairy, Clefairy, and Clefairy better be Fairy type.
They'll watch them end up being pure Fairy now.
Actually, I wouldn't mind that for them because, well, they had the name Fairy in their name. They should be pure Fairy. But then again, there's only one pure flying type. So far. At least that I know of.
There's technically 2 pure flying
Well,
types.
if you count Arceus holding this Skyblade, but I don't.
That's the closest thing to... Those are 2 pure flying types, folks.
I've been kind of thinking that, like, whatever...
Tornadus and Sky played Arceus.
I've been kind of thinking, like, whatever Pokemon had the egg group fairy would become part fairy type. But then you pointed out to me that Pikachu would become part fairy type.
And people will probably use Pikachu more, but that would drastically change the anime, so...
What? Ash's Pikachu beat a Dragonite.
By crawling in its mouth and thunderbolting it. You must be honest, I probably should have killed it, but hey.
But still, Pikachu beat the Dragonite, so... No, we've learned, like, some new things from, like, the Nintendo Direct, like the Pokemon Me feature. That looks nice.
We essentially put Pokemon on We essentially put Pokemon in a Tamagotchi. Yeah.
Yeah, you can, like, interact with your Pokemon. I think it increases the happiness of them. You can feed them. You can pet them. And from what I'm seeing, only Pikachu has its voice from the anime. Yeah. All the other ones have their Game Voice clips. It's Pokemon Yellow all over again.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I love how big Pokemon like Snorlax and it's hard they need both of the screens, and even then Snorlax doesn't completely fit.
Yeah. The 3DS, there's not enough Snorlax to love.
There's also, like, swarm battles.
Where, for some reason, like, 5 Axu will all swarm on you.
Or the one I saw, 5 Houndour.
Oh, man, well... I know our Spear should take care of that.
Or Rock Slide.
No,
No, Rock Slide attacks everything.
Yeah. And a couple of new Pokemon, like a Leo.
Which looks kind of odd. I mean, I really like the designs that I've seen so far of all the Pokemon. Like, I think these are the best designs we've had probably ever.
Yeah.
And that one struck me as the odd one, because... yeah, he looks kind of derpy / maybe I'm thinking of it wrong, the Petal Bear thing.
He looks like Petal Bear.
For some reason, I thought Petal Bear.
Oh, Leo does not look like that.
I don't know. Maybe it's been a while since I've seen that meme, so I can't remember what it looks like. But I don't know. Derby Petal Bear is kind of what I got from that. But even that's the only design that's kind of I found really weird. All the other ones of all the other Pokemon I've seen so far, I like.
And of course, Mewtwo has a.
Yeah.
We should bring up that people you already know, but yeah, Mewtwo has a new form. So would that mean Mewtwo will show up in?
Well, let's save that when we get to that.
No, I mean, will Mewtwo show up in a game, and will we just once again go, LOL, Master Ball?
Oh yeah, another really odd thing about the demos is that the Pokemon that are used there are at level 50. Like, what the crap?
Okay.
I don't think that means that they'll start at level 50, but...
That'd be pretty clunky, to be honest.
Oh yeah, the really cool thing, the thing I saw that I'm most excited about are the new sky battles. Essentially, if you have like a flying type or a Pokemon with levitate, you can be challenged to a sky battle where the battle literally takes place in the air. Like, that's really cool.
And then Bravery was like, America!
What else? But yeah, that's like right behind Wind Waker HD. I cannot wait for that game. First 3D main series Pokemon game.
Yeah, if you didn't like Coliseum or XD, well, hey, you got this.
I love both of those games. But yeah, you have this one. Okay, do you have anything more to say about Pokemon X and Y? Other than I'm getting Y.
Yeah.
And well, the way we usually do it is YoshiPrower, he gets the quote dominant version and I get the secondary version.
Yeah, I got Heart Gold.
Okay, well, the last game we're going to talk about, the one non-Nintendo game we're going to talk about, which is kind of odd because it's for the Xbox One for some reason too.
Not touching it still, because it's on the other system that decided not to BS with players.
It's finally, officially here.
Kingdom Hearts free. Come on, sound of applause, people. Yeah, I know. I know you're behind the screen right now, but do it anyway. Don't care you didn't like the series. Do it anyway.
And if you actually did that, why are you listening to us from the past doing it? But anyway, what do you have to say about Kingdom Hearts 3? Like,
I'm glad that we're finally getting somewhere with this, because folks, it's pretty much filler land. We got Dream Drop Distance and Birth by Sleep in 358/2 days, where a lot of people went, they didn't like it. I've played Birth by Sleep and beaten it, and I say, if you have to take from anything from those games, Nomura, I say you should take from Birth by Sleep. It had the better system.
And it's a prequel.
It's a prequel. It had the better system. I liked it better where I built up my meter and I got to use a finishing move like Explosion. And Dream Drop Distance, I kind of had to set up a finisher myself, and I won't always be able to get to do that. Most of my strategies in Dream Drop Distance was jump near a wall, spam flow motion.
But you liked Birth by Sleep, right?
Yeah.
And Dream Drop Distance, you like that one too, right?
Yeah, I'm kind of stuck on Zemnis right now. Yeah, spoilers. Zemnis is there.
I mean, now you've never played...
I never played Kingdom Hearts 1 or 2.
Yeah, but you've seen...
I've seen Hellfire Com's Let's Play playthrough. It's not really Let's Play, it's a playthrough. Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, and you shall watch it because it was funny.
But that's how you got into the series, by watching them, right?
I got into it by watching them. Yeah, I watched their playthrough of Birth by Sleep. I really wanted to try it, but it was on a PSP, so I did try it, and I ended up liking it.
And now you can say that you're a fan. Well, you were a fan even before you played it, kind of, weren't you?
Yeah. I played on the DS, recode it on the PSP, Birth by Sleep, and on the 3DS, Dream Drop Distance.
And you like all of them, right?
I like Birth by Sleep more than... I like Birth by Sleep, Dream Drop Distance, recode it.
What's your problem with recode it?
Some parts of the game was kind of BS. Or some kind of parts I'm like, kind of facing Maleficent Dragon in 2D was more of a pain than facing it in 3D on Birth by Sleep. Where there's a move where it pretty much will kill Aqua if you didn't do anything. and sometimes I'm usually don't get there in time.
But you don't hate Recoded. Overall, do you like it?
Yeah, I like it.
But, like, Kingdom Hearts 3 for the PlayStation 4. Because...
Xbone.
Why is it for the Xbox One?
Because they're under the impression that, hey, Kingdom Hearts is here. Don't forget everything else we screwed the players over with. Doesn't work like that.
Like, having to have... You can't play used games on it for some stupid reason. So that way, so you can buy their games new, so the money goes straight to them.
Yeah.
Like, if there was any other system it should have been on, it should be the Wii U, because at least Kingdom Hearts has been on Nintendo systems. All handhelds, but...
Yeah, the filler gets put on the handhelds, the main series gets put on systems, but why not a multi-platform?
Well, it is. PlayStation 4, Xbox One.
Yeah. If it had to be put on a system, why can't it just be kept on the PlayStation?
Or on the Wii U, too.
Yeah.
That would have made more sense. But yeah, the official trailer shows that it's now in development, and you actually get to see a little bit of gameplay of it.
Where it looks
really good.
It looks very nice. It looks like
it looks almost as good as the CG.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Sora gets to do parkour.
Yeah, he kind of did. Like I said, he kind of did in Kingdom Hearts 2 in the reaction commands. He backflipped up a wall.
Yet Sonic can't run. Yet Sonic can't run up a wall because
that was a challenge, folks. That was an what you did with Sora was an automatic section where all you did was press triangle. There, Sonic running up a wall was because you held down the run button.
But yeah, do you want to play it?
Well, I'll wait a while when it was out and see the overall view of it, because I'm hoping is that the Disney Village will have some presence to it, because I know Xehanort's the main villain and all, but Maleficent should be there to... You should make Maleficent just as menacing, but she just... is just kind of bumming around.
Yeah, because she's kind of like the Disney villain, so, for some reason.
And yet, she's kind of bumming around. She's been reduced to essentially Rita Repulsa and her Putty Warriors and Heartless. And I'm they're like, go away, Putty Warriors! Destroy Sora and the Power Rangers! She's kind of reduced to that. They give her more dignity than Rita Repulsa, but still, she's essentially that.
So, well, are there any, like, Disney worlds that you want represented in this game that haven't been represented? Or have pretty much all of them been covered? All the really important ones, anyway.
I'd like to see a Pixar world be put in there.
Like, from where?
Bug's Life. Just to see Sora, Donald, Goofy shrunk down, like, diminish.
I love the Bug's Life.
Yeah. I would say Cars, but I'm not sure how that would work. I really want to see how
Sora has a car.
Sora, Donald, Goofy are cars. That would be a little...
How do you fight as a car?
Yeah, this is
maybe it's just Burnout Revenge.
You just ram into the Heartless.
So, do you have anything more to say about Kingdom Hearts 3?
It was about goddamn time.
And you haven't even played the first two.
Yeah.
The only thing I can say is, I want to try Gianna Sisters. Twisted Dream. Even though that's technically not a non-Nintendo game, because it's planned to be released for the Nintendo eShop on the Wii U, but that game looks really, really cool. I want to try that game. So yeah, I think that's all we have to say about the games that we're excited for. Games I'm most excited for: Wind Waker HD, Pokemon X and Y, Super Mario 3D World. Those are the games I'm absolutely the most excited for. Then Sonic Lost World, then Donkey Kong Country Tropical Breeze.
Freeze.
Oh yeah, Tropical Freeze, that's the pun. and everything else is kind of like lower or in the middle. And of course, Smash Brothers.
But that's a never. That's a totally ever. Never.
Yeah, we're saving that for another video. Okay, this has been Espeonic.
And this is YoshiPrower04. Truly a master at naming things.
And we'll see you all some other time.